What's going on? What's going on, people? Welcome to another Emotion Football live stream. My name is Alam, and today we have a very interesting thing we're doing. We're doing something that I haven't seen done before. I've never done it before. I'll be doing it for the first time on this live stream. We're going to use ChatGPT to put together a mock draft for the draft that we're 1 week away from. Before I get started, I have it all over the place now. We're on the road to 250 subs. Make sure you sub and like to the sub to the channel, like the content. Any engagement with the content helps growth. So I plaster that everywhere. It's very clear. But with that being said, we're going to get right into it. So I'm going to explain what we have here. First thing I'm going to do is get this over here. This is a thing that we're all familiar with. If you're a student, you're probably very familiar with it. If you know what, if you're a professional, it's probably banned from your workplace, but you probably found a way to get it done anyways. This is ChatGPT. So here's how I started it. I asked ChatGPT, what do you need from me to put together a mock draft? To which it told me, here's what it needs from me. I need the draft order. Simple enough. I need the number of rounds or picks you want me to mock. Fair enough. It asked me, it told me I need a player pool. I said fair enough. Team needs. We're gonna need ChatGPT, brother chat is gonna need to know what teams need what. Draft philosophy, which I think is very fascinating that brother ChatGPT knows that there's different draft philosophies. You could draft by BPA, you could draft by team need. This is very cool to see. And then tone and style. This one, I think, was the least significant thing I could possibly read. But I answered all of ChatGPT's questions. I gave it everything. I gave it a draft order. I told it we're gonna do one round, not anything more than that. I gave it a big formula on how to generate a player pool. That's a lot to read, but just to summarize, basically, I gave it 6 very popular, reputable websites that have big boards, and I said, here, use these big boards to generate 50% of your player pool in terms of weight, and then do your own research. Scour the internet, figure out what you need to figure out, and weigh that research as 50% and average the two things together to come up with your player pool. So that's how it's going to be drafting. And then in terms of draft philosophy and team needs, I told ChatGPT I will feed you this one by one throughout the entire mock draft. So we're going to do this mock pick by pick. And the tone is not that important. So ChatGPT confirmed that that's all good. I let Chat, and then it said, hey, we're ready to go. Tell me the team needs for the Bears. And I'm like, fam, I gave you the 2025 order. How did you come back with the 2024 order? To which I said, here, in case you're stupid, here are the 32 picks. So it was corrected. And yeah, we're ready to go. We're going to start off. Very exciting stuff. So I'm going to start off with the first pick of our mock draft. Whoa, mock draft. The Titans will be prioritizing quarterback. It is clear based on their off-season moves that they are planning to take a QB, and Cam Ward has been leaving hints that he will be the player. You will need an outstanding justification to select anyone other than Cam Ward. Okay, potentially a drawn out thing, but here, send. Let's see what ChatGPT has to say to our first prompt. Quarterback, likely target, off-season context, evaluation of quarterback. Damn, this is extra. Okay. We're gonna have to tell ChatGPT to come up with some shorter prompts. Off-season context, clear signals they're preparing to move on from Will Levis plus rumors. Cam Ward's on social media antics. Okay, the pick is in. The Titans select Cam Ward. Okay, so What I'm gonna tell ChatGPT is that trade possibilities, verdict unlikely. So this is what I told ChatGPT to factor in everything. So it factored in a trade, but ChatGPT has selected that Cam Ward for the Titans. That makes sense. All right. So for the Browns, I'm gonna have to be a little bit more specific with this. I'm gonna have to say, okay, for future picks, we don't need that much of a deep dive before the verdict. Okay. The Browns, the Cleveland Browns need a quarterback for the future, but their roster situation is so dire that they will likely go best player available. All right. Let's see. Let's see what ChatGPT says for the Browns. Best player available. Trade watch. No obvious trade down partner. Oh, hell no. Leatu Latu? What? My friend, Latu is from the 2024 NFL draft. Please exclude any players already drafted to the NFL. Try again with only prospects from the 2025 NFL draft. God damn, ChatGPT. God damn. So it really went Cam Ward, Leatu Latu in our mock draft. Man, I cannot believe this. The pick is in. Travis Hunter, the Browns. Reminiscent of Shohei Otani's dual impact in baseball, which has the skill sets of. Okay, cool. Was there a trade watch? No immediate trade down opportunities. Okay, not particularly. All right, so we have those two players off the board. The Giants need a quarterback for the future, but their coaches and general managers' jobs are on the line. So winning next year is vitally important. Hold on. Important to this team. They will make a pick that impacts winning that most impacts winning next year. All right, let's see. Let's see what ChatGPT says about the Giants. Hey, we got Daniel in here. Damn, Maresca looks big as hell in that picture, but big up to you, man. Appreciate the support. Colts later in this mock. We'll get to them. Who can team needs, draft philosophy, best player available. No quarterback worth reaching for here. Trade up just yet. Giants stay put. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. We have the first wild as fuck pick of the draft. ChatGPT predicts Emeka Egbuka. Oh man, this is crazy. Hold on. Draft philosophy, best immediate impact player. And it didn't say Abdul Carter. We have our first flaw in this mock. Okay, this is a cool opportunity to iron these kinks out. Emeka Egbuka, number 3 to the Giants. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna need a further explanation. Why Emeka Egbuka over Abdul Carter? Why? Why did you go Emeka Egbuka number 3 over Abdul Carter? Giants lack wide receiver 1 talent? Oh, this is what? Or his replacement. See, ChatGPT Okay. No, okay. Based on your reasoning, you are using outdated information. Daniel Jones is not on the team anymore. And the Giants already have a wide receiver one. With only use information pertaining to 2025 NFL needs and outlooks for this pick and moving forward. With that said, try again for the Giants. All right. Abdul Carter. Okay, we finally tweaked the algorithm a little bit and we have a pick that makes sense. No trade down opportunities. Giants remain at 3. Team needs defense. Okay, makes sense here. So we got a good pick. We finally got a good pick for the Giants. My goodness, seeing we saw Leatu Latu for the Browns and Emeka Egbuka. But this is what we're gonna do, people. We're gonna really like learn how to work with this with the AI to get through this activity once. And then once we figure out how to talk to ChatGPT, we're gonna be playing this mock game all the way up until Thursday. All right. The Patriots will need talent almost everywhere but QB. The Patriots can technically draft any position, but I believe they will target an offensive lineman or defensive lineman because that is what Mike Vrabel values. All right. So this is generally what I believe. Actually, I'm going to say except because you never know. All right. New England Patriots. What does ChatGPT think? They take Will Campbell, a massive athletic left tackle. Okay. Makes sense. Tone setting offensive lineman. Plug him in at left tackle, right tackle, or either guard spot, really. This can be a piece at any position. Okay, so we got Will Campbell. No pressing reason to trade down. Patriots sit in a great spot to grab an elite line talent. Okay. Jacksonville Jaguars can. Yo, what happened, bro? What happened, bro? What happened? My bad, Kings. Shout out to you. Salute. I know this is a very late stream, but bro, I think it's a holiday for everybody. No, I think everybody gets Friday and Monday off. Easter and that. Where have you been, bro? Bro, honestly, it's been busy. Creative juices haven't really been flowing. But yo, I'm back with a crazy concept, bro. Actually, since you're just joining, let me take you to the beginning. I asked ChatGPT, what do you need from me to do an NFL mock draft? It gave me a bunch of things it needs from me. I gave ChatGPT the things here. And then we have a setup. I go pick by pick, and basically I feed it the information of here's what I think is the outlook for the team at this spot. And then it scours the internet, goes through mock drafts, goes through big boards, and it picks a player. So it's a little bit fucked up though, right? It's AI. It's not perfect. So it says a lot of fucked up shit. It started off with, hey, give me the draft needs for the Chicago Bears. To which I say, that's old news. So I said, hey, you're using the wrong order. Finally, it figured it out. Okay, so for the Tennessee Titans, see, it actually came up with a pretty cool response. It gave a whole breakdown of evaluation of the quarterback class, trade possibilities, unlikely, pick is in Cam Ward, right? So that was fun and dandy. I say the Cleveland Browns. Now, bro, King, you just got here. Try to guess what ChatGPT said would be the pick for the Cleveland Browns. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna give King some time because this shit was crazy. This shit absolutely blew my mind. Um, but that's the purpose of this, man. We figured like I'm gonna do this one time here to learn how to talk to ChatGPT, learn how to program it to really like pump out good content, and then we're gonna do more of this. Um, and we can play with it for sure. We can definitely get it to have like maybe more like ambitious mock drafts, like if every team just completely uh drafts by need or BPA. Actually, no, BPA is not interesting because BPA is basically just a big board. We can do like one with just crazy trades every pick. But yeah, I'm gonna cut to the chase. ChatGPT said the Browns were gonna pick Leatu Latu. And then this made me think of when it thought the Browns were picking one, and I'm like, you stupid motherfucker. We're not in 2024. We're in big 2025. And yeah, so I had to rework it. I'm like, hey, my friend, Latu is from an old draft. Try again. And then it finally gave Travis Hunter to the Browns. So that was cool. With the Giants, right? So I gave the Giants this input. I said the Giants need a quarterback for the future, but their coach and general manager's jobs are on the line. So winning next year is vitally important to this team. They will make a pick that impacts winning. And bro, this guy said Emeka Egbuka. Emeka Egbuka. Number 3 overall to the Giants. But in its justification, I asked it. I'm like, why Egbuka over Abdul Carter? And it basically says that the Giants lack wide receiver 1 talent. To where I'm like, oh, this is happening again. Its information is outdated. So I reworked it, and eventually we got to the point where it stopped doing dumb shit. But we're at the Jacksonville Jaguars. So the Jacksonville Jaguars can select anything but QB. Anything but QB. They will take the best talent available to them. All right, what the hell do the Jacksonville Jaguars want to do? Mindset off the table. They've invested heavily in Trevor Lawrence and just need more blue chip talent across the board. Team needs open board, best player available, trade watch, no immediate pressure to trade down. They're in a great position to scoop elite talent. Who is this? All right, man. Brother chat. I don't know who that is. I think we're going to change approaches. Only use the links I provided. Oh, you can't even see the chat here. My bad. To generate the player pool. Then try again with this pick. Now let me look up who that is. Who is Harold Perkins Jr.? Harold Perkins Jr. Is he going to the draft? No, he's on LSU. Oh, but bro, okay, is he in the draft though? Okay. Mason Graham, defensive tackle for the Jaguars. All right. That's cool. That makes sense. This is so far, ChatGPT is very chalk. But this is fine because to be honest, I think the top of the draft is fairly chalky. So I think this is okay. So far, so good. This could have gone a bunch of different directions. They could have gone the Michigan corner, Will Johnson. But it is what it is. Okay, Las Vegas Raiders. Or is there any trade watches? Okay, nothing yet. Okay. Las Vegas Raiders. He's staying for a senior year. Yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying. They picked ChatGPT mocked players from the past and the future. They mocked Leatu Latu and they mocked Harold Perkins. God damn. Okay, the Raiders. The Raiders need a QB for the future, but they invested so much in Geno Smith that I don't think hold on. I shouldn't say what I think. That a QB from this draft likely won't play for a while. So tight end, they could go in theory, they could go O-line if they wanted to. They're not going tight end. They're not. Is there anything else that they wouldn't go? Okay, TE is the only position they won't draft. Besides that, they will be going best player available. Okay, I think that's a solid prompt to guide ChatGPT. Okay, Las Vegas Raiders open most positions. Okay, BPA number 6. Everything except head end along, but not urgent. Best player available. Trade watch could entertain a move down, but no quarterback panic behind them yet. No clear incentive to trade up. Man, see, ChatGPT is smart about the trade up situations. The pick is in. They select Shador Sanders. Even with Geno Smith under contract, the Raiders take the value. Sanders is a poised, smart, and precise. Is poised, smart, and precise. A perfect candidate to sit behind Geno Smith for a season or two with a strong pocket presence and growing ability to read defenses. He presents long-term upside at the league's most important position. Okay, so I actually like this, and I think this is finally where like there's a pick that we can talk about. But ChatGPT says, despite the fact, like, mind you, you guys read my prompt. I told ChatGPT like they could use a quarterback, but it's not a pressing need because that's not a player that's going to play for a while. Geno's there. Now you could look at it like with Geno Smith, you're probably not going to be picking number 7 overall again. But yeah, with that said, Shador Sanders sitting behind Geno Smith, I think Geno is a good mentor for this style of quarterback. I think they do play a similar style in some ways, with neither of them being the kind of quarterbacks you would have designed quarterback runs for. But yeah, man, I think he definitely would have to sit because I think that situation is a mess. I would not want to throw him to the Wolves. But yeah, I don't mind this situation at all. He gets to go get mentored by Brady. Have Geno Smith ahead of him. Sit and wait for that roster to develop. You already know the other owner, the Davis guy, Mark Davis, I think. You already know he loves Shador because he was, talking to him at the WNBA game. Yeah, I like this pick. ChatGPT kind of took a leap of faith here. Okay, next pick, the New York Jets. The New York Jets. Okay. The New York Jets also need a QB for the future, but they might have one in Justin Fields. The possibility of Fields being good may deter a high pick on a QB. Okay, they're not going defensive line. They're not going linebacker this high. And could they go corner? Okay, I'm going to tell ChatGPT that their needs are corner, offensive line, tight end. Because I think those are the realistic. No, receiver too, but this is too high for receivers. Okay, the positions. The other positions they would consider are OL, TE, wide receiver, and CB. Consider Aaron Glenn came from the Detroit Lions, and the organizational philosophy he may bring from Detroit. Hella typos. Okay, bring from Detroit. We all good with this prompt? Let's let it fly. What are the Jets going to do? Build through the trenches. Prioritize. Justin Fields is a maybe, not guaranteed, so but not urgent. Grit and upside. Win in the trenches. Avoid over-investing. Has upside. Coach. Okay, line. Tough physical. Trade watch. Unlikely with a premium trench and perimeter talent still available. They select Kelvin Banks from Texas. Foundational left tackle with outstanding movement, skills, and punch at a power. So Will Campbell goes one. Kelvin Banks goes goes one as in he's the first offensive lineman off the board. Kelvin Banks is the second. So interesting. Okay. Okay. Remember to run the trade scenario by me before giving me the pick. Okay. The Panthers now. So the Panthers, in my opinion, they're not obviously not going quarterback. They're not going running back because they just paid Chuba. Could go. You know what though? This is edge so badly. Like, real. Oh my god. I'm trying to be. They can't go defensive tackle because they have Derek. Also, there's not really. Well, there is an option, but they already have Derek Brown, and they just paid Tershawn Wharton from Kansas City. They need edge rushers in the worst way. This is a bit high for a linebacker. There's no safety here. They just paid J.C. Horn, and I do think they have their corners, at least on paper. This is either edge or like maybe receiver. Edge or receiver. I don't think it's tight end either because they took Jatavian Sanders from Texas. The offensive line is functional. Okay. The Panthers' needs are. The Panthers' primary need is an edge rusher, with their secondary needs being wide receiver. And what's the other position I said? Offensive line, I want to say. And OL. Okay. Here's a top edge are in reach. Dallas Turner, brother. No, man. Cardinals could want a wide receiver. Falcons could be eyeing defense. They'd never trade him. Likely pushing hard for a jump. Could want a wide receiver or offensive line. Okay. Make the pick, but remember to only choose from 2025 prospects that I include that are in the links I included. You mentioned Dallas Turner, who was in the 2024 NFL draft. Okay. Let's do it. Make the pick. We have no trade down situations. They take Mike Green. That's a crazy jump. That's a crazy jump. God damn. Mike Green, first edge rusher off the board in front of both the Georgia edge rushers. ChatGPT, what are you cooking? Addresses the primary needs and bolsters their pass rush capabilities. Okay. Team needs and draft strategy. New Orleans Saints are a blank canvas. They can do anything. No, sorry. They are not restricted to addressing any one thing in particular. God damn, bro. Mike Green. Mike Green is still living in my head rent free. Okay, best player available. Few teams behind Chicago, Dallas could be eyeing OL or CB. No urgent trade. Make the pick. Okay, with the trade offers shot down. What? Bro, too many prospects. That prospect is not in this draft. Try again. Okay, we're definitely learning the boundaries of doing something like this. We're gonna have to figure out how to give ChatGPT the player pool, cause goddamn. Okay, T Mac to the Saints is not something I considered. Tedero McMillan to the Saints is not something I really considered. But if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. Chris Olave, we do not know. We do not know if he is going to be able to, like, you can't guarantee he's going to play 2 years from now. The concussion issues are real. Rashid Shaheed is the only other receiver there. There's no other weapons that system has. Now, do they need a quarterback? Sure. Is Jackson Dart somebody you take at 9th overall? Probably not. I think a lot of people will have the Saints maybe considering players like Tyler Warren. I don't know if they would consider an offensive lineman, considering that 2 are already off the board. I don't think I've seen anybody mock T-Mac to the Saints, which is why I think this is a very interesting selection. But yeah, I like this. Tedero McMillan. I think he's really, really good. I think he's getting a lot of slander. I think him and Olave with Rashid Shaheed would be a quality receiver trio. I think they won't really be able to do shit for you because the quarterback situation is going to be bad, but that's what's going to get you a great quarterback the year after in the draft. So I don't mind this pick at all. Saints could definitely go or should definitely be going BPA, and there's a decent chance that T-Mac is BPA. So I like that. Okay. Chicago Bears. Okay, the Bears. What are our big needs? Okay, the Bears, their primary, you know what though? Shit, okay. The Bears' primary, no, you know what? This is tough. The Bears have a robust defense that could use depth. They just pieced together an offensive line that could use depth. However, their weapons for Caleb Williams could use work. It is tough to tell what their philosophy is. Use Ben Johnson's history in Detroit to identify what his priority may be. So here's the thing. I'm feeding this to ChatGPT. In my personal opinion, they're going Ashton Genty if the board falls this way. I'm going to tell you guys why. I think he got 5 offensive linemen. I don't think he's drafting a long-term project. Sorry, like somebody to take somebody's job in the future or somebody to be depth. I don't think Ben Johnson is using his first pick on depth. He doesn't really strike me as that kind of guy. I think he's going to take a weapon for Caleb Williams one way or another. I don't know if it's going to be receiver because I think that Ben Johnson's not really a huge receiver guy. If you think about these Detroit Lions teams, the wide receiver 3 was never really somebody who ate like that. So I think with Rome and DJ Moore, he has his 1 and his 2. I don't think he's really going to push it at 3. This pick is either Tyler Warren or Ashton Genty. And I think it's Warren if Genty isn't there. But if they're both gone, I think this is offensive line. With the way the board is breaking here, breaking, crazy. With the way the board broke here, 2 offensive linemen are off the board already. They're not taking the 3rd offensive lineman before those 2 players. They pick between Genty and Warren. Again, I don't think Ben Johnson is going to like either of the players he has there because DeAndre Swift, he already traded. He traded DeAndre Swift when he was in Detroit to Philadelphia. So I don't think he likes his running back. And Cole Kmet, I don't know. I don't think he's the stylistically. If you think about who he liked, which was Laporta, so I think this is Warren or Genty. But let's see what ChatGPT has to say, bro. It's probably gonna pick somebody from the 2027 draft. Okay, draft philosophy. Ooh, ooh, trade watch. Hold on. Still strong receiver across the board. No urgent team leapfrogging Chicago. See who Trey Harris from Ole Miss? No way. No way. Okay, hold on. Bro, no way. This is like a mid-round player. Okay. This player is too much of a reach. Try again. Man, hell no. Hell no. Trey Harris to the Bears at number 10? The pick is in. Luther Burden. What? What? So ChatGPT seems pretty insistent. Okay, but if you look at the it's determined to give them a receiver. Taking Rome at 9 and then another receiver at 10 would be nasty work from Ryan Poles. But look at here. It says think Amon Ra, precise slot. Laporta, TE versatility. Or Jahmyr Gibbs, dynamic running back threat. Yo, consider the tight end and bro, come on. Come, bro. Luther Burden? You know what? We have to let it cook. We have to let Brother Chat cook. Luther Burden ahead of Genty or Tyler Warren. ChatGPT is fucking wilding. Okay, Niners. Niners main needs are OL and DL. I think this is an O-line, D-line draft for the Niners for sure. I'm trying to think. They're not going to you don't go linebacker this high. You don't go safety this high. Well, yeah, no, you don't go safety this high. You don't go corner. Well, Will Johnson, damn, over Will Johnson too. This is a crazy ass draft. We're gonna look back at this and be like, this fuck AI is dumb as fuck. Shout out to OpenAI. I tagged them in the title of this video. We're having a lot of fun fucking around with your AI to put this mock together. Okay, main leads are O line and D line. All right, let's go, man. They're not. Why does Enter not send the message off, man? Yo, this has to be some type of lineman, right, King? Shout out to you. All right, BPA pick is in. Tyler Booker. See, that's okay. That's fair. Now, oh my God, the board broke crazy for Dallas. This prompt for Dallas is going to be funny as fuck too. Tyler Booker, this is cool. Okay, Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys. Okay. Dallas Cowboys could use anything offensively except QB and anything defensively except CB. Wait, Milrow. Hold on. Nah, yo, so my understanding about Booker is that he's the best guard from Alabama. Like, sorry, he's one of the best guards in the draft, and he's from Alabama. What I heard is he's not falling past Indianapolis. Like, Indianapolis is... Wait, hold on. What's the over Jalen Milrow, bro? This guy's not a quarterback from Bama? Okay. No. That's the offensive lineman. He's a guard. Apparently, he's gonna go in the middle of the teens. No, I think you saw quarterback like you saw QB instead of OG, I think. Okay. Could take anything offensively. Okay. Now the prompt what I really want to include here is that keep in mind Jerry Jones is wild as hell, loves attention, No, okay, this is too much. Because ChatGPT is gonna cook crazy, like crazy. Okay, keep in mind, Jerry Jones loves stars. No, but they don't always draft stars. You know what? We're just gonna say, what does America's team do? Okay. Dallas is in no rush to move. Could potentially entertain offers later in round one of value. Bro, come on. What is this? Donovan Jackson or a play the defensive rookie of the year from last year? My man, you have to stop including prospects from last year. Try again. Bro, how many times? How many times? Okay, the next time I do this, I have to give ChatGPT the big board. I actually have to spoon feed the fucking prospects. Donovan Jackson. Oh my god, yo. You know what ChatGPT is? ChatGPT is too trendy. This offensive lineman run is insane. Now here's the thing. There's a chance Dallas does some shit like this, right? It's not like they have to replace Zach Martin. Is that what it says here? Oh my days, bro. We got a run on guards. Look at this shit, bro. Niners took a guard, Cowboys took a guard. Oh my god, Miami got fucked. Yo, okay, Miami got fucked here because uh all the linemen are not all the linemen are gone, but the run on linemen cuts their quality of pick. Oh my days. Okay. Miami needs everything but wide receiver and QB this high in the draft. Okay, is there anything else they could not take? No, bro, they could take anything. Please only select players in the 2025 NFL draft. Okay, when we do this again, we're gonna have to give ChatGPT the big board because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Okay, trade scenario. Okay, no trade down possibilities. Armand Membu, bro. Wait, this guy's the fifth. He's like the sixth offensive lineman to go. You know what? We're gonna ask it to put the whole mock together at the end just to see everything. But Membu at 13 is crazy. But that being said, they need the left tackle. Teron Armstead just retired. I thought they got fucked because two linemen went before them. Two linemen went in the top 10. This is the fifth lineman off the board. You know what though? I respect it because, bro, King, come on. Every mock draft you see is too chalk. It's too sensible. It makes too much sense. This is so wild, it might actually happen. If ChatGPT cooked and we later find out that some of these picks are right, yo, line, bro. You know what AI did? AI scanned the internet and it saw all the Eagles Super Bowl hype. And it's like, yo, offensive lineman is how you win Super Bowls. And it said, we are going to be trendy. We are going to be current. And we are going to take offensive linemen. Ashton Genty, Tyler Warren, still on the board. Will Johnson, still on the board. All these shifty, small, athletic players, get them out of here. We are a 300-pound NFL player appreciating mock draft. God damn. Okay, the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts need a guard, but aren't good enough to draft at the expense of the rest of the roster. If not, they probably go. They're not going receiver because they have Pittman and they just drafted AD Mitchell. Like, I just really don't think they're going. You know what? They could go tight end. Ooh, it's the rest of the roster. Okay, their other needs include tight end. They're not going running back. They're not going quarterback. The Colts, they could go. Yeah, well, hold on. Let me check the depth chart really quickly because I might be tripping when it comes to their defensive line. Where is it? Okay, they have Kwity Paye, Ebukam, Latu. Yeah, I don't think they're going defensive line. No, they could go defensive tackle. You know what? I take that back. They could go defensive tackle. I don't think they're going secondary because of all the money they spent there, though. You know what, though? I'm not going to rule that out. Include DE, DT, CB. Okay. All right. Go crazy, chat. Go crazy, chat. Also, shout out to everybody in here. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you enjoy this activity, I'm going to be doing this a whole lot more over the rest of the week. So we have a week until draft night, and I think I'm going to do one of these every night. I'm going to get better and better at prompting ChatGPT on how to do a mock draft. This is the first run. It's been fucking chaotic, but this is only going to get better and better the more I do it. So if you don't want to miss out on what we're doing here, make sure you hit the like button to push the stream out to more people, and make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss when we're live. The Colts. Okay, we're gonna have to fix the trade scenario check because it keeps saying no trades, and that's not realistic. The pick is in. What are you do? Oh, you know what? No, not edge. What? Tyler Warren is still dropping. ChatGPT hates Tyler Warren. Bro, Uman, Milan, this fucking asshole actually put here, if it's not a part of the 2025 base pool, here's the adjusted selection. It's not. You could have checked that on your. Oh my God. Is not in the pool. We'll just take Scouting, I guess. Okay. The Falcons. What do the Falcons need? What the hell do the Falcons need? Let me pull up the depth chart really quickly. Easy one to look at because they're at the top of the website. Okay. Falcons, could they go receiver? In theory, yes. Could they go offensive line? They could go center, but it's too early for that shit. Could they go tight end? No. Could they go running back and quarterback? No. So this is receiver or defense. But I'm sure it's definitely going to be defense. Okay. Defensive line, or you know what? The Falcons will likely address their defense, but you know what? No, they're not going to take a receiver. No, you know what? But they may take a receiver. Yo, Luther Burden isn't even on the board anymore. They saw Philly win with no damn tight end. It's a fuck it, we ball for sure, man. Which response do you prefer? No, man. I gotta fucking judge responses? Okay, what's the difference? Is the pick the same? Walter Nolan? You know what? Walter Nolan at least makes sense as a pick. What's their interior look like? Yeah, I mean, the rookie they picked last year wasn't all that. David Onyemata is old. You know what? This is not even. It's interesting and different, but it's possible, which is why I wanted to do this. Okay, Arizona Cardinals. What are they gonna do? They need. The fuck do they need? They kind of do need edge, but also they just paid Josh Sweat and they traded for Baron Browning. So I don't think they're going edge. It's maybe Jihad Campbell time in terms of the draft. They could go interior defensive line for sure. They could go. They're not going safety for sure. Okay, could they go corner? Okay, I'm just gonna exclude, but you can't exclude edge. I'm gonna exclude safety. I'm going to exclude safety, and then offensively, they're not going receiver after taking Marvin Harrison last year. Maybe they go offensive line. No. Yo, this is anywhere but safety. Could they dance with the QB? Arizona? Nah, bro, because Shador's already off the board. Shador went to the Raiders. It's Jackson Dart season in this mock. Okay. This pick will likely be a defensive player except safety. You know what? I got to be specific. Except the safety position. All right. Let's go. Let's go, chat. Let's go. What do you got? What do you got for the Cardinals? Who is this? Who is this? Is this a guy still in college? Yeah, we're gonna have to feed the thing, the big board. You know what? I might have to make a pivot. This guy's still at Kentucky, right? Yeah, this guy is still at Kentucky. All right. You know what? This was fun. We gotta reel this in. 2025 NFL draft prospect rankings. I'm gonna just take a website that has like a really extensive list. Okay. No. NFL big board. Oh, Tankathon's built a big board. You know what? Tankathon's big board is respectable enough. At least we know it's going to be. This pick is far too unhinged. From now on, only use an aggregate of the following rankings. Only for the player pool. Remove the players already selected so far. Okay, cool. So we're going to include the Tankathon list, which is one, and it's a good list in terms of like on that web page, there's like 150 players. Okay, this stupid ass thing, how far does this go? No, this is pretty hard to read. Okay, Pro Football Focus. Let's see. Page 1 is how many players? 25? That's not enough. CBS Sports. Okay, I got it. We're just gonna add one more. We're gonna add Daniel Jeremiah's top 50. Okay. Redo the Cardinals pick. Nah, bro. No. Okay. So the insanity is fun, but we can do better. Okay. Jahad Campbell. Okay, you know what? That's okay. Kind of addresses the edge stuff a little bit. Kind of addresses the linebacker stuff. They're weak at both spots, but it kind of doesn't get too much in the way of Sweat and Baron Browning. Okay, Bengals. Boy. Bengals go either defense or offensive line. Yo, what? No, hold on. This guy's from last year. That player is not from the player pool. Try again. Okay, damn. Okay. Josh Simmons. Yo, King, you're not lying. You're not lying. ChatGPT is a big fan of offensive linemen. ChatGPT watched the Super Bowl. Okay. Next team, the Seahawks. Seattle. What is Seattle? Well, what is Seattle gonna do? You know, okay. Let me look at their depth chart really quickly. Seattle definitely offensive line is a big need, but then again, yeah, they can't go receiver. Not after paying Cup and you have JSN. They can't go receiver. Um, can't go running back. Yeah. Yo, Tyler Warren is still out here, man. That is crazy. You know what? Fuck it, we ball. I'm not gonna give it that much direction. I'm not gonna give it that. Seattle, like, won't draft QB or wide receiver. No, QB, wide receiver, or CB here. Everything else is on the table. Remember, stick to the pool of players from the 3 links I provided recently. I'm gonna copy paste this and add it to the end of every single prompt, just so this guy doesn't get confused. Okay, Seattle in this mock draft. Bruh. He was already selected. Try again. Okay, so we're gonna learn how to teach ChatGPT how to do this. I definitely know we have to give ChatGPT the player pool. I think we should give ChatGPT the player pool, but give it the power to research the players on the internet. I think that's a great way to do it. And we have to tell it, like, you have to keep the order in mind so you don't repeat players. I knew it would repeat a player at some point. Yo, this man just went a pick ago. He was also selected already. Just one pick ago. Be better, brother Chat. That's on me, and I appreciate the patience. Yo, you know what? Yo, I'm about to give up. Who the hell is this? Who is Tyreek Chappell? What the fuck is this? Yo, too many. That player is not in the player pool. Try again. No, I'm so sick of this. Okay, so when we do this tomorrow or Saturday, I'm giving the player pool, I'm giving it freedom to research from outside, and I'm definitely feeding it draft needs. I think that part has worked out pretty well. I'm also going to specify the kind of feedback it gives per pick, right? Because I think this stuff is cool, but this is cap. Using only these things. Tyreek Chappell. What? Mason Graham. Wait, did this guy not go? Bro, he went 5th overall. Yo, ChatGPT is not. He was also already selected. Try again. Okay, we learned quite a bit. Next time we do this, it'll be better. This is chaos. This is pure chaos. But yeah, shout out to everybody who's tuned in to watch the chaos. Yeah, because yo, this guy, wait. No, yeah, the Jags took him. Yeah, the Jags took him. The Jags took him number 5. I'm gonna make sure I'm not tripping about that. Let me go back all the way up to. Maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe too many picks have happened, so the memory is bad. Oh yeah, they took Harold Perkins first. Yeah, Mason Graham, number 5 to the Jags. Colston Loveland before Tyler Warren. Holy shit. Oh my god. ChatGPT, what are you on? What? Okay, for what it's worth, just to be clear, I really like Colston Loveland. I think Colston Loveland is actually an amazing player, fantastic player. I think he's going to be really good. That being said, he is not going to go before Tyler Warren. I had a sneaking suspicion when I saw Noah Fant on the Seahawks depth chart with how kind of shaky their wide receiver position is. And I was like, tight end actually kind of makes sense. But yo, Colston Loveland is mad. Colston, that is mad. No, this is the thing, bro. This really, like, here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with this pick. Warren should just be gone by now. There's nothing wrong with the pick, but the fact that Warren is still here and they still went with Loveland, boy. Okay. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are not going quarterback. They're not going receiver. Well, yeah, no, because they just took McMillan. They're not going running back. I guess they could go tight end. They could go offensive line. They lost Hainsey, but there's a run on offensive lineman. Okay. Buccaneers go either defense or OL or tight end. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers go Tyler Warren. Okay, so finally Warren goes off the board. Bro, if you think about it, bro, Warren, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Jalen McMillan is a fucking problem. Because Cade Otton is cool, but we can get him out of here. He's not like that. Cade Otton is hashtag not like that. Okay, number 20, Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos have to go Ashton Genty, right? Okay, let me look at the depth chart. Please get Genty off the board. Please get Genty off the board. Where's Denver? Okay, Denver is not going quarterback. No. They could go receiver. They could go running back. I really don't think they're going offensive line because I think that was a strong point of their team. Although I'm not really sure if this Wattenberg guy played center. They signed Evan Ingram. They're not going tight end. So this is either running back, receiver, and then defensively, they're not going linebacker here. I mean, their defense was fucking solid. But this is a running back or a receiver. This is likely a RB or wide receiver. An outside chance it is a defensive player or OL. Nah, another O-line. Yo, it did it again. It did it again. Wait, Cam Ward? No, bro, Cam Ward went number 1. Wait, Scatterbo? Scatterbo, for sure, he's still here. Bro, it did it again. Hampton over Genty, just like Loveland over Warren. Yo, ChatGPT has its favorites when it comes to these weapons. My goodness, oh my days. Marion Hampton. And you know what it is too? Is like I have heard some hype that some people look at Hampton as like on par with Genty. There's some people that believe that, but it's wild. to see Omari and Hampton ahead of Ashton Genty at number 20 overall. All right. Number 21st, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers. King, because you've been here, you've earned the right to write the prompt. So whatever you type in the chat, I'm going to put it directly into ChatGPT, brother. You can type anything. You can say anything. Your Steelers are here on the board with Ashton. Your Steelers are picking with Ashton Genty on the board. They could go Jackson Dart, your boy, or they could go Ashton Genty, or they could go. You know what? You can write the prompt however you want to write it. You just can't say take a player. I'll say that. That's the rule. You can't say pick this player. You can damn near tell it to, but you gotta get creative. That's the last thing I'm gonna do the same when Philly's on the board. I'm gonna get very, very creative, even though I don't have a board, so I don't know exactly who got taken. But bro, I cannot wait to keep track of this and see what actually happens on draft night. Because man, some of these results are really interesting. But yeah, for anyone tuning in, my guy here in the chat, King, has been in my chat for a long time now. Probably one of the most active chat people in this community. And he's a renowned Steelers fan. So I'm giving him the opportunity to write the prompt for the Steelers draft pick. So we're going to wait around and let him do that. Take your time, do your thing. We're going to get back to this. In case you haven't, you know what? As a brief pause, as an intermission in the draft, let me get this out of the way. Provide a recap of the mock draft so far. Remember to exclude any picks I got you to redo. Hold on. Remember to exclude any picks I got you to change. Oh, hold on. Only include the picks I was comfortable moving on to the next team after. All right. Give us the mock so far. Give us the mock so far. For the people joining recently, you guys are going to get a chance to see what this looked like. What? View analysis? Okay. What? This is random. This random ass. Okay. Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Will Campbell, Luther. No, you got it wrong. That was Mason Graham. Can I change this? Cap. Calvin Banks Jr., Mike Green, Tedero McMillan, Luther. See, Luther Burden went here. Booker, Jackson, Membo, Scourton, Walter Nolan, Jahad Campbell, Josh Simmons, Colston Loveland, Tyler Warren, Amari, and Hampton. Okay, so that recap is correct, except Mason Graham went number 5 in Luther Burden. Make that change and show the list of picks, or show the picks in list form. Ooh, okay, we got it. This is the official Emotional Football ChatGPT mock draft. I'm gonna copy paste this so we don't lose track of it. Also, if it does anything stupid, I can feed it back to it. Be like, bro, you stop showing players that already got picked. This is the recap. Okay, the Pittsburgh. Can I copy paste this? Hold on. No, there's no way of copy pasting this in StreamYard. That is very whack. Okay, I will have to transcribe. Pittsburgh Steelers will likely draft an offensive. I'm gonna say offensive weapon. Offensive tool sounds. I don't know. It just sounds. You know what? You said offensive tool. I gotta respect King right here. Like RB, receiver, or QB. They don't need a linebacker. Facts. Okay, they do not need linebackers. All right. Let's go, chat. Let's go, chat. ChatGPT says, with the 21st pick in the NFL draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select. No, man. Stick to the player pool. Yo, Raheem Sanders ahead of Ashton Genty. What the hell is that? Ashton Genty goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. Finally. Ashton Genty. Yo, look how badly the Chargers got screwed. The Chargers, you know what though? They're not going running back after signing Najee. Never mind. I take it back. They didn't get screwed. I just realized they signed Najee. Okay, Chargers. Chargers, they're not going receiver this early. That is not what their franchise does. They're not going center. They're not going tight end anymore, I don't think. Okay, you know what? They could go tight end. But yeah, you know what? I'll give them the option to go running back or tight end, even though both those positions got taken immediately before them. No bullshit. The 4 picks before them are all players that the Chargers would have considered. This pick could be RB or tight end, but will likely be a defensive selection. Nah, bro. No, but yo, nobody has Scatterbo going this high. Like first round, no. I think they have Scatterbo going like round 3. You can check it out though, bro. Look up Scatterbo in mock drafts. Walter Nolan. Blah. No. Nolan was taken by the Falcons. You know what? See, this is why I do this shit. All right. Pittsburgh Steelers, Ashton Genty, running back, Boise State. Then after that was Los Angeles. No, this is the Chargers, right? Yeah, okay. Bet. I can actually feed it the mock draft just to remind it to stop being stupid. Nolan was taken by the Falcons as per the mock draft thus far. See, I'm writing this like a professional email. Included below. Try again with only players from the player pool, excluding the ones listed above. Keep this in mind for the rest of the mock. Okay, we made it. We made it. Chargers pick Michael Williams. All right, see, finally we got some shit that makes sense. Michael Williams at this part of the draft would be solid for them. They only have one young edge rusher, Tuli Tuipulotu. Khalil Mack is old as hell. Bud Dupree, also old and washed. So they could use some help at the edge. Michael Williams is a developmental kind of a player. So having Khalil Mack and him on the same team actually makes sense because Mack can play now. Michael can play later. So yeah, I'm going to copy paste this though and keep it in my Los Angeles Chargers. Dope. All right. Green Bay Packers. Oh, I wish Gail was here. Gail, if you're watching this, salute. It's been a while. Miss all the homies. Green Bay. What does Green Bay need? Green Bay. Anything but running back. I want to say anything but running back. Defensively, what do they have? You know what? Let me look at their depth chart very quickly. Okay, they could go defensive tackle. They could go edge. They could go anything but linebacker, I think. No, anything but linebacker and safety defensively. And then offensively, they're not going tight end. Okay. Green Bay can take anything but a LBSRB. Yeah, that's it. Here, go cook. Yeah, D line is definitely a possibility. No way, man. JT, okay. Oh, bro, you're right. Will Johnson is falling like crazy. All the corners are falling. Not one corner has been taken. Oh, yeah. We have to do this again. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Okay, JT is the pick. Wait, no. Yo, also, why is there a gorilla emoji in front of him? ChatGPT racist as hell, low key. Is the approved pick. Jared Verse is not in this draft. Asshole. No, I've got to. Oh yeah, I realize I'm covering up the chat. Is not in this draft. All right. Okay. Next pick is the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings can. What direction can they go in? Vikings are probably not going offensive line. You know what though? They still could. They could go guard. They're gonna go guard. I don't think there's anywhere else to go offensively. Can go OG or defense. And then defensively, is there any position they can't take? You know what? Yeah, I don't think they go backup safety. I don't even think they go front. So this is interior, maybe. Vikings can go blank, DT, or CB. Let me just confirm this because they have Dallas Turner off the edge, like from last year. You know what? Yeah, I think these are the three needs. So Green Bay, I'm just entering it in my list. Green Bay Packers. Bro, I'm so fed up with these picks. Please make sure to not pick any players from last year's draft. Before every pick from this point onwards, double check that the player was not selected in the 24 NFL draft. Try again. Okay, can't wait to finish this shit because goddamn, I'm exhausted with all these fake ass players. Cooper Beebe is a whole Dallas Cowboy. A whole Dallas Cowboy, I tell you. Okay. Did it do something? Is it tripping? Is it bugging out? No, I don't want to refresh it because I feel like if you refresh it in the middle of a task, it could like lose the task. You know what? We're gonna have to wait to see what happens. Oh, I should have copy pasted. Okay, that player is from last year's draft. Double check to make sure all going forward are not from the 2024 NFL draft. Try again with this pick. Minnesota Vikings select who? Who is Charles Grant? Man, did they follow up a player from last year with a player from next year? William and Mary. Facts. This guy is still in college, man. Come on. Come on. Okay. This player is not in this draft. Revisit the 3 links I provided earlier. For the player pool, ensuring to remove players from players already picked today. Already picked in this mock draft. All right. Okay. Did we finally figure out how to get a goddamn Vikings pick out of ChatGPT? I might crash out. I might just end this pick. Tyleek Williams. You know what? We can take Tyleek Williams. We can actually. This is acceptable. Tyleek Williams is absolutely acceptable. Minnesota Vikings, Tyleek Williams. But that is fine. Okay, Houston Texans. Houston Texans need an offensive lineman in the worst way. That is the prompt. That is the prompt. That is the prompt. Gray Zabel. Again, that's acceptable. That makes sense. Shout out to Will Johnson. 2nd round pick. Houston Texans. Gray Zabel. That's solid. Los Angeles Rams. Let me check their depth chart. What do they need? Rams. Needs that jump off the board. Kind of linebacker. Edge depth. Defensive line depth. But I don't know if they're gonna go depth this early. And they could go corner. I actually think they really should go corner. Oh my god, they're gonna get Jade Barron, aren't they? Oh my god. Shams need various positions, but mainly CB. All right. Wait, Will Johnson. They're gonna get Will Johnson? They get Will Johnson. Yo, this is insane. This is absolutely mad. I was tripping over Jade Barron. Los Angeles Rams, Will Johnson. God damn. This was how many minutes ago? This was 9 minutes ago. King put this in the chat 9 minutes ago. The Rams get Will Johnson. What a fucking mess. What a fucking mess. Baltimore Ravens. At least it's giving me real players this time. Okay, Baltimore Ravens. They're not going receiver. They are potentially going offensive line. They are not going tight end. They're not going quarterback. They're not going running back, surely. Defensively, though, that's probably where it's at. So it's either offensive line, and then defensively, where could they go? They could go probably not safety. I don't know. You know what, though? Worry, but no, Worry, there's too much overlap with Kyle Hamilton. They need a different kind of safety. But then again, Malachi Starr, I don't know. Not middle linebacker, I don't think. Edge. You know what? Edge rusher. They need a pass rusher, either a pass rusher or an offensive lineman. Baltimore likely targets an edge rusher or offensive lineman. Yo, Ibuka is undrafted after not like so far, but ChatGPT tried to get Ibuka at number 3 overall. I saw that shit. I snapped. I was like, no way. I completely made it rethink its thinking after I saw Emeka Ibuka number 3 overall. Donovan Ezeraku. Okay, Boston College. Fair enough. Again, these are actually real players, and I'm so happy about that. Okay, who's next? Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions need a defensive depth or maybe an offensive lineman. Kenneth Grant. You know what? He's from Michigan. Very respectable pick. DJ Reader. I think that's the run stuffer. He is getting old. This is a very respectable pick. I like this. Okay, Detroit number 8. The Commanders. Commanders can go receiver, offensive line, running back. No, they still have too many guys. You know what? No, why am I trying to do this shit from memory? I can just look up the Commanders depth chart. Okay, defensively, not defensive tackle, but they could go edge. They not linebacker. They could, they're not going safety. You know what? It's either edge rusher. Okay. Commanders select James Pierce. Okay. A real player. Jade Barron, you are a second round pick. Jade Barron, you are a second round pick. Yo, bro, King, I think Ibuka might be going to Buffalo. I think he might be going to Buffalo. Okay, where are the Bills? The Bills? Nah, they're not. Yeah. They should go receiver, but I don't think they will. Could they go offensive line? Probably not. Yeah, I don't think they're going offense. They're going defense. Looking at the defense, though. I think it should be a corner. Corner or defensive tackle. Bills likely target a CB or DT. Outside shot at receiver. Okay, cool. Let's go. Who did the Buffalo Bills bring to that frigid ass team? Buffalo gets Jade Barron. Damn, bro. They get a 6 slot corner. this late in the draft. Buffalo Bills. I wonder if there's any teams using AI to put this shit together. Okay, 2 teams left. Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs. What are they going after? They could go after a few things. Offensive line. They're not going receiver. They're not going tight end this high. I really don't think. Not in a Super Bowl year. Like they're in a Super Bowl window, you don't draft backup tight ends. Also because they drafted Wiley last year. Okay. Receiver, offensive line, and then defensively. Defensively, what do they need to look at? Probably no defensive. Yeah, defensive tackle for sure. Chiefs' main need is DT. Their other needs are OL and RB. Let's go. I think this is a guy. Omar Norman Lott. I think this is definitely drafting by need, but I do think that this is a viable guy. Hold on. Let me look up Tankathon. Yeah, it's a reach, but fuck it, bro. We're not correcting shit this late. Okay. Okay, last pick, the Eagles. Philadelphia needs a TE because they're gonna trade Goddard. OG, edge rusher, or DT. Okay. With the last pick in this mock, the Philadelphia Eagles select Elijah Arroyo, a tight end to replace Dallas Goddard to cap off the first round. So, with that pick in the books, we are done, people. We finished the first in-motion football ChatGPT mock draft. So we're gonna do more of this. We learned a lot today about how this works. We're gonna really experiment with this and try different things out. Shout out to everybody that tapped in. This stream got a lot of interest. Appreciate everybody that dropped by. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel on your way out. We're about to wrap up here. Like I said, road to 250 subs. We're at 204. Help us get to our goal by the start of the NFL season. But yeah, with that being said, we're out. This was a lot of fun. I will see you guys either tomorrow or the day after. You guys take care. Yeah, you guys take care. I'm out.